After some very public back and forth arguing in recent weeks, the Metropolitan Council has approved a grant agreement that advances the Blue Line Extension light rail project. Met Council moved ahead with a $75 million grant on Wednesday. The vote came after a decision to pause funding about 3 weeks ago while the council looked at funding for the Southwest light rail line. The Blue Line extension is planned to run from Target Field in Minneapolis to Brooklyn Park. The grant will be used to design the rail line and move toward the municipal consent process. Some Met Council members are concerned about ridership numbers and local support.
My communities, just as an example, don't look at LRT as the bigger, better thing. We don't think so in most of my community.
Meanwhile, the Blue Line Corridor Management Committee will make a non-binding vote on the LRT route coming up on Thursday. Takeda Pharmaceuticals has invested millions of dollars more into its Brooklyn Park facility. Governor Tim Walz made that announcement this week. The investment is expected to create new jobs. The governor invited a Japanese trade delegation to Minnesota last year, and that included a stop at Takeda's campus along Highway 610 in Brooklyn Park. Takeda recently completed a $45 million investment to that facility to increase production. Takeda is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the United States. Developers say funding issues have pushed back the timeline for construction at a prominent Brooklyn Center redevelopment site. The city is working with a developer to transform an 80-acre plot of land called the Opportunity Site. City Council approved plans for the first phase of redevelopment last year. Those plans call for the construction of hundreds of apartments and commercial space. The developer had expected to break ground this year. Now they say lenders aren't funding big projects because of rising interest rates. They said if interest rates stabilize, they hope to find financing next year. There are hundreds of thousands of military veterans living in Minnesota. Many of them have jobs, but some need help. One veteran has made it his mission to help more companies hire and meet the specific needs of those who fought for our country.
Sometimes they'll get a coin from there.
Jeremy Wolfsteller met President George W. Bush twice.
Every single president will have their official coin made like this, and they're given to people who, have made sacrifices, basically.
He doesn't remember the first time. He was in a coma. A bullet in his second tour of duty in Iraq went into his right hip and lodged in his left shoulder. The Osseo grad eventually returned home with a Purple Heart and a new career.
A lot of veterans aren't critically injured, but they have severe injuries, mental and physical. And sometimes it's hard to get them into the system of care.
Through nearly a decade and a half with the American Legion working in tandem with the VA, Wolfsteller helped connect other veterans with the care they need.
It's weird to say it, but fortunately I was traumatically injured because the system of care is a lot easier when you've been hurt like I have.
Very impressive.
That's how he met Vietnam veteran Peter Bartling, who tried everything he could to get a COVID vaccine and kept striking out.
The Veterans Program is for people that need that help medically, academically, housing-wise, or whatever. But you never know when you're going to need the help.
Yes.
Wolfsteller helped him get what he needed.
I said, if you can help others like you helped me, you're going to be successful.
And that's about the time Wolfsteller left the Legion and, with Bartling's help, started SAVE, Saluting America's Veterans Enterprise. The goal is to help companies better meet the needs of veterans after they're hired.
We believe by doing that for the companies is that it's going to help them recruiting veterans, help them retain veterans, and be more attractive as a business to serve veterans as clients as well.
I think all veterans that are in good physical, mental, and emotional condition want to give back, and this is a way I can do it.
Fewer battles for veterans right where they are.
It's great for the community, it's great for the companies, the employers, it's obviously great for the veterans.
And we've put a link to the SAVE organization at ccxmedia.org. Minnesota's primary law enforcement training offered at a 2-year school is right here in the northwest suburbs, and it just got a boost of federal money. Hennepin Tech just received $1 million in federal funding to help its Peace Officer and Public Safety program. The Brooklyn Park campus is the only place in the Twin Cities where students can now earn an associate's degree in peace officer training. That money will help pay for more simulators and the latest gear that officers use.
We are also going to use a portion of the grant to help alleviate the student costs, because it is a large cost for the student entering the program. So to be able to offer them some equipment that they are loaning from us instead of having to purchase on their own will hopefully also open up accessibility for different students to attend the program that may have not considered before.
Since that associate's degree program started last year, more than 100 students have applied for the program. It won't be long before the fall colors start to pop across Minnesota. Experts say that while the drought-like conditions aren't ideal, the leaves should be just fine.
If we just stay in this pattern of warm days and cool nights, the colors are going to pop. So we're going to get color regardless of the drought.
The beautiful fall colors aren't necessarily a sign of a healthy tree. Plymouth City Forester Paul Buck said the drought has taken its toll on a lot of trees across the metro, and the lack of moisture makes them more susceptible to diseases as well as attacks from insects. His advice is to water your tree by letting your sprinkler run for about an hour. Homeowners should do that periodically until all the leaves fall.
Some of your neighbors might kind of think you're a little crazy, but you look at what it would be if you lost that tree. It's worth the couple pennies to add some extra water.
Buck says the fall colors should reach their peak in the metro by the end of the month and go through mid-October.